Hello and a very good evening to you from our Tampines hub here as Geylang International take on Tanjong Pagar United in the Singapore Premier League 2020. We are past the halfway stage, of course, and because of the truncated nature of this year, we will only be having 14 matches. And of course, Brunei DPMM have sat out the rest of the stadium. Lovely to see the lights and colour around our Tampines hub. Of course, this is a very unique stadium. And look at the table at the moment. It's, well, quite a race, isn't it? If you want to get that magical fourth spot this year. And Geylang are in 6th place with 10, so they're 2 off probably where they'd like to go. Speaking to a Geylang official earlier, of course they want to play in the AFC Cup, and that's where 4th will get you. Tanjong Pagar are languishing 2nd from bottom with just 3 points on the board. So let's hear from the men in charge of these two teams, their thoughts ahead of this game.
Geylang have won just 1 game since the restart. Is it something that concerns you?
Oh, definitely, man. I think after playing 4 games, we only got 1 win and 1 draw. I think definitely it's a concern for the whole team, you know, because we know games are coming in as fast as we, you know, like another 4 more games in a month. So it's a big concern, but I think there's still 6 games to play, and we're still looking forward and take 1 game at a time.
After the loss against Rex last week, will you be making any changes for today?
Definitely there will be some changes today. I'm starting a young goalkeeper for today's game. You know, Wen Chiu, his first professional game. But I think reason being because I've Adam who's out sick, and then Coach Chow is also injured, and then so I think that's the only changes towards the Rex game lah.
And lastly, Hougang is facing Lion City Sailors today, and Balestier is facing Rex. How important is it for Geylang to get the 3 points today?
I think at this point of time, you know, whatever results on the other side, it doesn't bother me at this point of time. I think it's more important that us getting a good result tonight and then start picking up points moving forward to the next game.
Okay, Coach, what are your thoughts on today's game?
Not an easy game for us again after the loss against young Lion City Sailor. But we are hoping that we can surprise something as well today. Yeah.
Faris, who came on as a second-half substitute in the last game, is in the starting 11 today. How important is his presence in the team?
All the players are important, including Faris. We are all close to our players, all getting back into shape. So we got Faris today, we got Junior starting as well. We are hoping for the best. Yeah.
And lastly, Geylang is starting with Wen Chiu in goal today, his first professional start. Does that give you a bit of confidence that you can get something from today?
This is football. If you don't take shot, you don't score. So we knew that now that Wayne is playing, so maybe more shots from the players for today, and hopefully we'll score.
Well, interesting to hear the thoughts there. Firstly, from Muhammad Noali from Geylang International. He's focusing on his team's results at the moment, and they can't be worried about what happens elsewhere. A win here certainly puts them in a good position to try and get that 4th place. Just to remind you, the top 3 Singapore sides, local sides, will play in the AFC Cup and AFC Champions League. The top place goes to AFC Champions League. The next 2 will play in the AFC Cup. So a lot going on here, and we're going to look at Geylang International. We mentioned, of course, in 6th place. The man to watch out for, Khairul Nizam. 4 goals this season, and one of them particularly special at this particular ground against Tampines Rovers. What a spectacular one that was, and certainly one that you'd feel is a contender for goal of the season. Tanjong Pagar United, they found it hard, haven't they, since they've come back into Singapore football. 2nd from bottom, and the man to watch out for, Suhairi Sabri, formerly from Lion City Sailors, and now with Tanjong Pagar. And the youngster scored the only goal in a 6-1 mauling against his former club. Goals have been hard to come by, and they'll be looking at the likes of Suhairi Sabri and the other attackers to try and change that for them. They really do need to get more on the score sheet. Well, with the nature of this stadium and the fact that it's within a mall, you're going to have, I'm sure, a few people watching from a few vantage points as the officials ready themselves to come out shortly. All 8 teams are in action today, which is a bit of a rarity, though we'll have a few more of those types of match nights as the season progresses. And we'll be keeping you in touch with those score lines. Don't worry about that. It will be, we'll be keeping you updated. Just to let you know, the other matches, Hougang United are playing Lion City Sailors. Young Lions are hosting Tampines Rovers. Albrechts Negata will be playing Balestier Khalsa. So, of course, as much as Geylang don't want to be overly focused on what's going on elsewhere, they'll be hoping for a favour or two from Albrechts and Lion City Sailors. They will be, you would think, looking at it now, it are 3 clubs vying for that 4th spot: Hougang, Balestier and Geylang. We do know what Geylang are all about. Very much an attack-focused side. They love to play their football. They like to press high. It's always good energy about them. Fast football. If you recall the corresponding game just a few weeks ago, which was at the Jurong Stadium as the players make their way out, well, it was very much a one-sided affair, with Geylang seeing plenty of the ball and all the opportunities virtually. I think there was not a single shot on goal from Tanjong Pagar in that game, as Farid Hamid comes out, leads the team, and that is a big, big plus for them after that layoff with injury. But they really do need to show a little bit more intent going forward. That has been the criticism so far of Tanjong Pagar. Still looking for their first win of this season. Farid's up against his old club as well. As we complete the formalities very shortly. We'll have a look at the lineups as well in just a bit. These are the officials in charge today. Joharman Zaiton in charge, J.R. Shokraj and Liao Hongwei, the 2 assistants, Jansen Fu, the 4th official. Yuki Ichikawa and Farid Hamid there, the 2 skippers. They know each other very well. Yuki, of course, a long-term resident here in Singapore. So good to have Farid Hamid back there, as I mentioned. But first, let's have a look at Geylang International. They make 3 changes from the side that lost to Albrechts Negata. And you heard already Wayne Chu, the youngster, the 19-year-old, coming in today for his first ever professional match. What an experience that is for him. That means Khairul Shehan is on the bench today. No place for the #1 choice, Zainul Gulam, of course. He is not in the squad today. Neither is Zikos Chua. He's got A-levels at the moment. And Tashiev as well. He is unavailable. And so in come Sharon Sabarin and Iqbal Hussain. For Tanjong Pagar United, we mentioned already that Farid is back with starting again, and Luis Junior, his first start since we restarted the league, and they certainly need a little bit of Brazilian magic from him today. He did give them something different when he came on in the last few games. He does try to change things up and gives them a bit more attacking intent. So 2 changes for Tanjong Pagar United, and it means Surya Prakash and Amirul Emran find themselves on the bench. Well, if we're going to follow the pattern of the last game, we'll see Geylang attacking from the start. And always interesting to see when coach and assistant are up against each other. Hasrin Jailani and Mama Noali together at Geylang International. They'd worked at Geylang for about a year and a half before Noor Ali took over in June 2017. And we have kickoff here with Geylang going from left to right, and Tanjong Pagar in all red and white, really, to be exact. Yuki Ichikawa. A lovely little touch on by Barry Maguire. And already trying to make inroads. That looked to have just got out of play. But Amy Reka is someone who can cause problems with his pace. Now, what will happen, you'll see a lot of this. Darren Tay comes forward, tries to slide the ball into Iqbal Hussain. What you'll see a lot of is these clearances from Tanjong Pagar. They didn't have an outlet the last time these two sides played. Lewis Jr. wasn't on. He came on just before half-time, and they really struggled. So it is good to have a focal point, isn't it? Foul there on Harith. Taken short. That looked like a foul. Jan Mota. Another Brazilian in their ranks. Now, what they were playing the last time round in this corresponding match, Tanjong Pagar effectively 5 at the back. It was a 5-4-1. Nishikawa was their only outlet, as I said. But that will be a little different this time. Tanaka was aggressive, always tries to get forward whenever he can, and not too many opportunities for him to do so. And it was a chastening defeat, wasn't it, really, against Lion City Sailors the last time out. So that, I'm sure, is at the back of their mind somewhere. Firdaus Kazman, so vital to the needs of this Geylang side in that holding role. Push back there by Raihan. Yuki with the header. Now Barry Maguire. Now that has just about held up. Great work, ball played in quickly. Lukman, he was a real threat against Tanjong Pagar in the last game. On that right-hand side, in fact, he was very, very effective, along with Chris van Huysen, who is on the bench today. So plenty of pace there. Early bit of action for Wayne Chu, and you did hear from Hashwan Jailani that they're going to try testing him out, and already Tanaka going for it. And another shot. And that is extremely ambitious from Raihan Rahman, but you already are getting the impression that that is going to be a little bit of a tactic today from Tanjong Pagar. It is an interesting one, isn't it? They are putting in this youngster. Geylang wanted to strengthen the midfield today, and so they've taken a bit of a gamble here, but I suppose if you're going to do it, you probably do it against a team that's struggling. Here's Darren Tay, but what's good to see from Tanjong Pagar is that they are pressing a little higher up the pitch than they normally do. Firdaus Akbar. Umar Akbar is fouled there by Raihan. Forward by Ichikawa. Amy Reka can't quite keep that in. Faritz smashes that forward. Here's Darren Tay trying to surge forward. He does well. It's a delightful ball. Barry Maguire just a little too far in front of him. But a delightful run there from Darren Tay. That's what they want from their fullbacks. That's how Noor Ali sets his team out. And again, maybe on a grass pitch, that might have just held up for him. Now Faritz. Little spell of possession, always good for Tanjong Pagar. Out wide to Tanaka. For the moment now, Geylang quite happy not to press too much. Iqbal though, going after Jan Mota. Here's Delvinder. Well, they are keeping the ball fairly well at the moment. That was Nishikawa. Faritz. I think they've committed more men forward here than we saw before. Iqbal now on a break. Have they committed too many? Iqbal out wide to Barry Maguire. Not too many options for Maguire at the moment. But he does find Lukman. Can he get the shot away? And that is an excellent block. But they caught them, so they were a little bit exposed there. And Elfi Danish saved the blushes. Darren Tay. Well, it's a good start to this game. There's a nice rhythm about it already. And fair play to Tanjong Pagar. They have shown a little bit more than perhaps we've been accustomed to. The introduction surely of Faritz and Lewis Jr. has perhaps just given them that little boost. Firdaus. Here's Tay. No one's making a challenge. Oh, and I tell you what, that was... Darren Tay looked at the referee. He wasn't interested. Juherman, Barry Maguire in towards Iqbal Hussain. They get it away. Firdaus, as always, manages to mop up. Back to Firdaus. Harith looks up, sees Emi Reka. Quick pass on from him. Jan Mota very tight on Iqbal. Bright start here from Geylang International. Neither keeper really has had anything to do just yet. It's back to Kenji, talking about goalkeepers. I'm afraid he hasn't had a particularly great season so far. Littered with mistakes. Certainly had a couple against Geylang in the last time they played. And they will be aware of that as well, I'm sure. Yeah, he's going to just slow it down. No need to rush it, of course. Now, I don't know whether we've even seen Lewis Jr. touch the ball yet. That's what they're always, of course, aiming for. Umar has gotten to a good position here on that left-hand side. Raihan read that one off that pass to Maguire. Lovely little touch on from Luis Junior. His first intervention's a pretty decent one. And maybe just a heavy touch there from Nasrul. Iqbal. Was there a late challenge on the forward by Jan Motta? Jan Motta's keeping a very, very close eye on Iqbal so far. Adam Shah is having a little bit of a go at the referee and the fourth official, Jansen Fu, saying, why is that a foul, ref? And Nishikawa is penalized. Oh, sorry, Tanaka, excuse me. Well, yeah, obviously, you can't deny that, I'm afraid. Well, I think it's positive. At least they're going for they're trying to play a 4 at the back today. Tanjong Pagar, as I mentioned the last time they played 5. There's confirmation of that yellow card for Tanaka. But he's got the pace, Tanaka. Can cause problems. At that time, he was beaten for it. Luis Junior with an important header on. They'll be looking for those little flicks from him. Nasrul. Now Faritz. They opt for safety first. Back to Kenji. Devinder looks up at his options, and that pretty much runs all the way to Wayne Chu, who will be delighted that he is a passenger now. Actually, Haru Shirhan also had very little to do in this corresponding fixture. So, like I said, this is probably a good game for him to just blood him. Oh, lovely play there from Barry Maguire. Iqbal, I told you, Jan Motta has been very much on his case in this game so far. Extremely tight on the forward. And he's just not giving him any space. The referee's having a little word. It's been at least a second or third foul now on Iqbal in his opening 14 minutes. Great work here from Maguire. Well, he went up there with his arm. That is not good to look at, I'm afraid. And perhaps he's just got away with that. Jan Motta. It is a free kick in a very central, well, slightly to the right, I suppose, for Geylang. Will they try and test out Kenji here? Oh, that's off the woodwork. It's a great free kick, by the way. A quick score update for you. And Gabriel Kwak has opened the scoring for Lion City Sailors against Hougang in the 12th minute. What a great free kick. And that could well have been goal number 1. Kenji was flailing for that one. Amy Reka, that was just floating in. Beautifully done. And that's probably the best chance we've seen so far in this game. Gabriel Quack, by the way, doing one better than Amy Reka. His free kick went in. And they've had some big wins recently, haven't they? They finally sort of got their groove, Lion City Sailors. And given all the resources that they have, the pressure is on them. The expectation is on them to, well, not just compete, but win the league. But this is good as far as Geylang are concerned, that result. Nur Ali, though, as we said earlier, is focused on this one only. And it is, at the moment, Geylang who are dictating the tempo of this match. Dalvinder intercepts the ball up to Iqbal Hussain. Touch on from Maguire back to Kenji. There you go, 2 shots to 1. I think that one is a very generous one. It was a very innocuous attempt at Wayne Chu. Ichikawa was there first. Faritz gets something on it. Up towards Lewis Junior, who might just have to drop a little bit further to get some service. Oh, that was just a little bit late. Now the reaction, everyone is up in arms, the Geylang bench in particular. And Raihan is having a big talking to here from Juherman. Was just a little bit late, but great pace being shown here. Yeah, definitely late. Now we look at that again. And Lukman beat him, didn't he? Now, shouldn't that be a yellow card, some might ask? Only card given so far to Tanaka. Might have been a couple of others. When you see that Jan Motta challenge on Iqbal with a forearm, you might be thinking, yeah, that could have deserved something. Kenji could be tested once again. Here's Amy Reka. He's got to have a better ball than that, surely. Elfie losing the ball, Amy Reka, and Faritz to the rescue. Awkward bounce. Iqbal goes first time. Oh, was there a little touch on from the keeper? They're asking for the corner, and they're going to get it. They're looking across at the assistant. And that was instinctive, wasn't it, that effort? Really wasn't much on. His back was to the goal, really. But Iqbal's got this in his locker. Yeah, I think there was just a little touch. I think you could just see Kenji's reaction. He was probably saying to his defenders, can't let him have a shot like that. Well, the referee saw a little bit of tussling going on between Dalvinder and Barry Maguire. It's all smiles from them. He's keeping a close eye on the ref. Oh, that's in swinger, and that's well done by Kenji. Got something on that. That could have been tricky for him. That's a better set piece from Amy Reka. Those are some of the hardest ones to deal with for a goalkeeper. We won't have to say too much about the effort from Firdaus. Well, it was just a little bit of frustration from the Tanjong Pagar camp earlier. But the pattern has emerged, hasn't it? The one that we thought would happen, and that is Geylang dominating proceedings, seeing a lot of the ball now. Haven't created too many chances just yet. Lukman's header, just a bit too much on that. Here's Tanaka. Now Raihan, who mishits that. Barry Maguire's got a little bit of space. That falls kindly, Firdaus. Maybe just trying to overplay things there. And he knows it. It was a, you know, they were in a good position there. Nicely done by Lukman to Maguire. Opted not to make the cross. That goes against Tanaka. Oh, he's not happy. Lukman is down. I'm not sure about whether that was a foul, but you can you can understand now. You can see there. Noor Alam Shah is not happy. I'm not sure how much of a foul that is. I think that's perhaps a little bit harsh on Tanjong Pagar. Really could have gone either way, that one. But Geylang now have this free kick. Oh, he's had two very good deliveries and one quite ordinary one on the dead ball. Let's see how we go here. Amy Reka. That's a good ball again. It's off the woodwork, but they make no mistakes. Second time of asking. And Geylang International get a deserved opening goal here. Well, we thought they'd scored off Barry Maguire's header, but Sharon Sabrin makes no mistake, back in the side today. And it is, as we've seen the play go so far, it has followed the pattern of play. They've pushed hard, Geylang. And once again, it's Tanjong Pagar who have conceded. Maguire's header off the post. He had his arms in his air, but they all kind of switched off, didn't they? Ball watching. And he was the first to the ball. Shavrin reacted well, and Nishikawa couldn't quite close him down. Nishikawa clears now, maybe a response from Tanjong Pagar. Firstly, there's a Geylang man down in the penalty box. Lewis Jr. just looking a little frustrated there. Confirmation then, Sharon Sabrin's goal in the 23rd minute. Remember, it took them over an hour to break the deadlock. And that was after the introduction of Karan Nizam, who was fantastic, and they still have that in their locker if they want later on. And they've also got Faris Farhan, so attacking-wise, they've got some good options, Geylang International. Here's Farid, loses the ball. Was there a foul on Maguire? Referee waited for the assistant to make that call, and at the moment there is a feeling, I guess, amongst the Tanjong Pagar players that they're not getting decisions go their way. So that frustration is growing. Karim Nadim has opened the scoring. Well, this is a bit of an upset, isn't it? At the moment, Young Lions have taken the lead in the 19th minute against Tampines Rovers. Who would have thought that? And of course, it's very tight at the top between them and Albrechts Negata. Still a long, long way to go, of course. They too are searching for their first win of the season. Actually, Young Lions have already got a win, excuse me. It's Tanjong Pagar, the only team who haven't got a win. It was Young Lions who actually beat Tanjong Pagar 2-1. That was not too long ago, on the 25th of October. So as we have the drinks break, let's have a reminder then of the goal in this game. Barry Maguire with the first header. And good reaction there, good finish really from Sharin. Excellent from him for a centre-back. But they just couldn't close him down. All a little bit slow. And they've got work to do here, Tanjong Pagar. I'm just catching little bits here. If there's a microphone somewhere near the coaches, I can't quite repeat what is being said, so apologies if you heard anything a little bit rude. Iqbal. Was there a foul on Emi Reka? Play continues. Trying to get themselves out of trouble here. That's good work from Emi. Frustration for Elfi. Now, that last free kick was in a similar sort of area, but a little closer to the goal from Emi Reka. Can he repeat it? Can he get that on target? Can he squeeze it in this time? It is going to be a little bit harder, of course. He's going for it. That sails over the crossbar. Looking very comfortable at the moment, Geylang International. Faritz is, again, having a bit of a go at the referee. What he feels is not the right decision. You can hear coaching staff pushing, telling their players to push up. That's a little bit better, isn't it? Here's Umar. Now Lukman. Trying to squeeze his way through. Certainly a foul by Elfi. Delvinder is pleading the case. You're not going to change his mind, of course. Well, let's see if he had a point. There's absolutely no doubt about the foul. It's not a dive. That was a late challenge. And I think Elfie has had a few problems already, and he's being replaced. Well, I think they just didn't want to take any more chances. He struggled a little bit, Elfie. Well, that's, again, I never understand why goalkeepers do that when they're under no pressure. Iqbal's free kick. Could have just caught that, opted to punch it away, and that just puts you in danger again. Here's Maguire. The litany of fouls. Yeah, they're just not happy at the moment with the... There we go. Confirmation, Farihin has come in. But a lot of free kicks being conceded at the moment by this Tanjong Pagar side, and that is not helping them. But let's give some credit here to Tanjong Pagar, because I think they saw the problem on this left-hand side for their team, and they've tried to plug it. Remember, there are 5 subs that you can make, so you still have plenty of options later. And it's a decent ball in. I wonder whether he could have actually made that. Sharon Sabrin, he kind of gave up on it, but we'll forgive him. He's got the only goal of the game so far. He is going to have a very busy night tonight, isn't he? Kenji Rushdie, and his counterpart will be absolutely delighted. He's probably had 3 touches of the ball so far and not been called into action at all. But as we've seen many a time in football, when you haven't done anything for a long time as a goalkeeper, sometimes it can come back to haunt you. Maguire, what a great ball that is. Up to Iqbal, raking pass to him. Here's Lukman. That's poor from him. Maguire showing some real quality tonight, playing in that hole. Very versatile player, of course. And his CV, of course, quite impressive, playing in the Europa League with Utrecht in the Eredivisie. Certainly a man in demand. Ichikawa certainly with a foul there on his countryman. Nishikawa. Raihan wants to take it quickly. Well, they've got to just loosen the shackles a bit now, surely. Tanjong Pagar. Tanaka. Here's Delvinder. And this is the problem. They get closed down. Have to go back and restart. Jan Mota. Raihan just muscled off the ball by Amy Reka. Needed to be a better pass to Iqbal. Umar goes in hard. Now Faritz. Haven't seen one of those storming runs from Harith yet on that left-hand side. He's Really so good at those. Reminds me of a young Faritz. Had some really good chances against Tanjong Pagar when they last played a few weeks ago. But he's been the quieter of the two fullbacks, shall we say, so far in this game. Here's Firdaus. Oh, lovely work. Lukman again. Just lost control of the ball at a crucial moment. Now Faritz. Into Suhairi. Tanaka comes forward. Well, he's done too much there. Far too much. But that is about as forward up the pitch, as high up the pitch as they've got so far, Tanjong Pagar. We haven't seen enough from their fullbacks. They are just a little bit narrow, aren't they, at the moment, despite playing almost a 4-5-1. And Tanaka is a kind of player, and Faritz, both of them can try to bomb forward. Oh, that's not a good pass there from Ichikawa. Lovely touch off from Luis Junior, and Nishikawa blasts that over. The first chance, really, from Tanjong Pagar, profiting off a mistake from Ichikawa. And Noah Alam Shah wishes he was on the pitch right now to take that shot. Well, they don't have many chances, so you've got to make them count, or at least test this debutant goalkeeper. And that was a poor shot, really. Great touch on from Luis Junior. And that just shows what possibly could happen if they can get into more forward positions. Great ball on from Iqbal Hussain. Is that a penalty? The referee says no. Harith went down. We haven't seen enough of those runs. To be fair, Geylang players aren't really protesting that much. Well, this game is just suddenly livened up, hasn't it? In terms of a bit more balance to it. Slightly more end-to-end now. But have they left themselves a bit exposed here? Barry Maguire looks up, there was space. Amy Reka needed to be a better pass from him. Maybe that was just the jolt they needed, that goal. Tanjong Pagar. Luis. Now Tanaka. Slides that into the channel, but Suhairi and Darren Tay will let that roll out of play. Well, Wayne Chu, his first goal kick in professional football is a short one. Let's not take any chances, I'm sure he's thinking. He's a goalkeeper for Temasek Polytechnic. Jan Motta and Iqbal Hussain have had a little duel this entire game so far. One which Motta isn't really winning. Well, we do apologize for the language if you're hearing any of that from Srin Chailani. He is not happy, I think it's safe to say. I think some people might say going mental. Really, really having a go at his players. I think, in fairness to them, they've looked a little bit better since the goal, and that is put out of play by Umar. with Nashrul on the ground. Yeah, Nashrul's still staying on the ground. This may not be good. Of course, as I mentioned, you can make 5 subs, but only over 3 occasions, not including half-time. So they certainly will be losing that ability to try and change things up. They don't really have too many attacking options. Zulkifli Hashim was injured not too long ago, so it's good that they have him on the bench as an option. But really not much else in terms of attackers. Now Nashrul isn't looking particularly comfortable. They will want to at least get him to half-time if they can. Can he hold off for the next 5 minutes or so? Because if you include the drinks break, we'll have a little bit of added time. Here's Harith. Good ball into Iqbal Hussain, who now bears down on goal. Can he finish off here? And that's and Iqbal looks a little frustrated that he couldn't make more out of it. But he got the better once again of Jan Motta. Great ball out from Harith Iskandar. Harith Kanadi, excuse me. Three minutes of added time. Oh, keeper flapping at that one. And maybe a collision there with Barry Maguire. And Sharon fancying his chances for a second with a overhead kick this time. He's on the ground here, Kenji. Looked like he came together with Barry Maguire. Is it a head injury? That is the concern. Well, let's give him credit for coming out of his goal and really stopping that opportunity from Iqbal Hussain. Well, there are calmer times at the moment for this Tanjong Pagar bench. You can understand their frustration, but the plus point is that they are still only a goal behind, despite the domination by Geylang International. And this is what we were saying in the last game when they played. Geylang really were all over them. They just couldn't put chances away. They haven't had that many Tanaka does well there, but it's back to Maguire. Here's Lukman. Important intervention, certainly there from Farihin. Good news is that they are back to their full complement. Nashrul is okay for now. Well read there by Harith. I think it was a handball along the way. Trying to steal a few more yards there, Faritz. Now Raihan will just throw this into the mix, see who can get on the end of it. Lewis Jr. will be the obvious one, but it's not going to be him. Now that might be a corner. It is. Right at the end of this first half, they will pile in the big guns here. Tanjong Pagar, see if they can nick something. Set pieces, certainly going to be some of their best opportunities. We're surely going to have more than the 3 minutes now after the stoppage for Kenji. Well, look at how they're all placed. How many people are near the goal line? That is extremely congested, that goalmouth area. Wayne Chu, they're putting real pressure on him here. Oh, he's done well, Wayne Chu. And there's a bit of a roar from whoever's watching. Again, that will do him a world of good. That was important from him, Wayne. That's really the only thing he's had to do in this match so far. Here's Faritz. Suhairi with a pretty wild effort there. No rush to take this for Geylang. Harith is finally launches it. Raihan back to his keeper, Kenji Rushdie, who, well, despite whatever criticism he's had, he's pulled off a couple of decent saves. A couple of important ones. Sharon leaves that for Wayne. Nice touch on from Amy Rekka. Does well here. Barry Maguire. A little nutmeg from him. Maguire. And that maybe was creeping in. Kenji Rushdie turned it around the post. Not sure there was quite enough power in that to make it all the way, but a lovely bit of work from Amy Rekka and then Maguire. Excellent from Maguire. Yeah, it was an awkward bounce really for Kenji, and he couldn't take any chances there. We've had the 3 minutes, of course, now, but as I mentioned, Kenji's injury means that this could well be the last chance of the game, of the first half, and can they just hold on? That came off Maguire. The referee brings to a close then this first half, which has been entertaining, certainly from Geylang International's point of view. The only goal, though, with all the possession they've had, the shots as well, has come from Sharin Sabrin off a corner. Maguire's header came off the post, and Sabrin was the quickest to react. Half-time score then at our Tampines Hub. It's Geylang International 1, Tanjong Pagar United 0. Welcome back to our Tampines hub. It's halftime here in the match between Geylang International and Tanjong Pagar United in the SPL, Singapore Premier League. The only goal of the game so far has come from Sharin Sabarin. These are some of the highlights of the first half, and Geylang really controlled from start to finish. Emi Reka with a great free kick. And they piled on the opportunities. And this was the only goal. The header first from Maguire was then quickly a reaction there from Sharin. Kenji Rushdi pulling off an important save off Iqbal Hussain. But it's been all Geylang at the moment, and those stats tell you the story of this game. One thing that Geylang would be concerned about is the fact they've had all these chances and it's just the one goal lead up till now. And this is kind of a similar story to what happened the last time they played, though of course at halftime it was still 0-0. Karan Nizam certainly made a big difference. They have got attackers who can do that. And reminder of course that there are 3 other matches tonight going on in the SPL. Hougang United are a goal down to Lion City Sailors. An early free kick from Gabriel Quack has given the Sailors the half-time lead there. Young Lions. Now this is probably the biggest eyebrow raiser of the night. They are a goal up against Tampines Rovers, who of course are chasing Albrechts Nagata on goal difference. Is really tight at the top. But Albrechts Nagata themselves, no goals against Ballistic Khalsa. So we're going to, of course, have the second half in a short while, and it'll be interesting to see how both teams come out. Remember, we talked about Tanjong Pagar. They don't really have too many attacking options. Zulkifli Hashim is the obvious one. Will they unleash him just yet? Will they try to keep it tight for another 20 minutes or so? Remember, they still have 4 subs to make. As for Geylang International, there's the man that you'd think will come on at some point, Karan Nizam. Want to see his heroics again after that wonder goal against Tampines Rovers in the last game at this ground. But it is certainly what a player to be able to bring on, Karan Nizam. And of course they've got Faris Farhan as well, Chris Van Huysen. They've got quite an array of attackers, this Geylang side, and perhaps one might wonder just why they aren't perhaps doing better than they are. They do play this high-paced, high-energy kind of football, fast-paced football, and certainly they have been affected by the stop-start nature of the league, and now the games are coming thick and fast. We're going to take a short break. When we return, it'll be the second half of this SPL match between Geylang International and Tanjong Pagar United. We're back at our Tampines hub, a few minutes away from the second half of this SPL match between Geylang International and Tanjong Pagar United, and we're seeing the Tanjong Pagar players out a little bit early perhaps. These are their two players who've come in today, Luis Junior and Faritz. A little bit shake of the head, and that's pretty much how Tanjong Pagar fans are feeling at the moment. Their team have just been toothless up front, not really created anything. Off the only chance of the game they had was off a mistake from the Geylang skipper Yuki Ichikawa. And I'm afraid this has really been the pattern for them this season in terms of creating chances. They just haven't scored enough. We look at Tanjong Pagar overall, and it doesn't make for pleasant reading. Also, remember, they are missing Ignatius Ang, the attacker, out for the rest of the season. They could have certainly done with his tenacity. Tanjong Pagar last defeating Geylang in March 2012. 1-0 victory at the Queenstown Stadium. The current fitness coach for Tanjong Pagar, Hafiz Osman, scored the winner. Delvinder Singh and Emi Rekha both playing in that one, still with their clubs. Delvinder also playing against his former club too. As for Geylang, well, they have got a good record, as I said, against Tanjong Pagar, undefeated in their last 7. They've only won 1 out of their last 5 in the SPL, so they really want to turn things around, and a great opportunity here to try and narrow the gap on that all-important 4th place. They certainly want to try and get to the AFC Cup. They're slightly revamped. It's quite telling, isn't it, that the players are out very, very early on. Surya Prakash, by the way, there you can just see him in the background. He's another attacking option that they have. Loves to take on players. Forgot about him earlier. Let's give him some credit as well. He came on towards the end of the first half in the corresponding fixture a few weeks ago, and just does give them something a little bit going forward. They were out at least 5 minutes. And I think probably Hasrin has given them a bit of an earful and told them to get out there, make a statement. Well, Maguire's been excellent so far for Geylang International. Really has threaded through some great passes. But he's been well supported as well by Emi Rekha and Nur Lukman. The only thing I think they'll be wanting to do is get more goals. Now, we talked about attacking intent, and they are going to show it right from the very start of this second half. Positive. Nasrul is off. He maybe had a bit of a knock towards the end of the first half, so he's replaced by Surya Prakash, and Zulkifli Hashim is also going to come on. Well, they're playing their cards early. Chris Van Huysen is coming on shortly, and Hairul Shehan is also going to come on to replace Wayne Chu, who'll be delighted that his debut involved a clean sheet. So a flurry of changes from both sides in the break. Confirmation then of those changes there. Hairul Shehan in for Wayne Chu. Nur Lukman, who, again, I think might count himself a little bit unlucky to be going off. Surya Prakash on for Nasrul, as we mentioned. And Zulkifli on for Farihin, who had about 20 minutes in that first half, but also partly to do with that under-23 rule. And that's probably, maybe that change with Harul Shirhan is just in expectation of more attacking intent from Tanjong Pagar, and also with the personnel that they've brought on. It'll be interesting to see how they're going to line up. Could it be a 4-3-3? That would be adventurous for them. Foul by Umar. Here's Faritz. Out by Jan Mota. Surya Prakash trying to play in Nishikawa. Little foul there on Ichikawa. Harul Shirhan has displaced the #1 choice for Geylang International, Zainul Gulam, who was suspended not too long ago. And the feeling is right now he's playing well. And of course, as soon as I say that, he kicks the ball straight out of play. Thank you very much for that one, Harul. No, but it's always good, isn't it, when get a little bit of competition. Well, the gamble has seemingly paid off for Nur Ali in that he wanted to just have perhaps a more strengthened midfield, take a little bit of a risk on the goalkeeper, and it's worked a treat for him. Clean sheet, Barry Maguire here in the corner. And he's now being able to bring on Van Huysen. Amy Reka up to Darren Tay. Here's Iqbal. Oh, nice work from him, but he can't quite get the better of Delvinder. Now Raihan. Touch on by Lewis Junior, a little bit too much on there for Zulkifli Hashim. They've got a little bit more experience now going forward. Tanaka asking for the corner and gets it. Well, Wayne might be quite happy to see this, Wayne Chu, because we're wondering whether this was a tactic just they're piling everyone right on that goal mouth. We thought that might be just to put pressure on him, but they're trying the same thing with Harul. And the referee is keeping a close eye on that one. Oh, looked like a free header there. And that is a decent chance. Jan Mota. He wasn't far away there. He's got a couple of goals already this season. They just seem to switch off Geylang. Well, we did say that set pieces would be the way forward for them. And that was only their second real chance of this game, and it wasn't far away, was it? Better defended this time, Yuki Ichikawa, though I think he took a bit of a blow as well. I think there was a comment there from the Geylang bench to settle down a little bit. Jordan Webb has equalised for Tampines Rovers. Lovely little touch on from Amy Reka. Well, Jan Motta had that chance for Tanjong Pagar. They didn't really do a very good job of defending. This was a flap, wasn't it, from Hyrule? And he was let off there. Here's Lewis Junior. Davinder getting just in front of Iqbal. Now Raihan. Well, it's been an encouraging few minutes for Tanjong Pagar. I've got a bit of a thin squad, so trying to make the best of their resources. Farrett's losing out there to Chris van Huysen. Motta gets ahead of Maguire. Here is Darren Tate. Firdaus. Good touch on from Maguire. Now Van Huysen showing a little bit too much of the ball for Farrett's. Straight to Maguire, that kick from Kenji. They've just about cleaned it up here. Tanjong Pagar, now Surya Prakash. Maguire and Farrett's exchanging pleasantries, shall we say. Now Raihan. Out towards Tanaka. Oh, dangerous ball in. That's good play from Tanjong Pagar. Surya Prakash was just trying to put some pressure on. That ball into the box on Harith. Certainly the most positive we've seen from Tanjong Pagar this period since the restart. That's why it's a corner. It came off Harith. Now the last corner they had from that end was where Motta came relatively close to scoring. Flicked across, it comes off the woodwork. Still alive here for Tanjong Pagar. Tanaka. And this time the header straight at the keeper. From Luis Junior. Well, they had as many chances in the last few minutes than they've had in the whole game. Well, lovely flicked header. It was a great run from Zulkifli. And this is what happens when you show a little bit more positivity. That one was rather more straightforward for Hyrule. And Wayne Chu saying, well, I had it easy, didn't I? Here's Surya. Well, they're racking up the corners as well now, all of a sudden. There's going to be another change, perhaps sensing the momentum is with them. Interesting one. Raihan is off. Amirul Emran comes on. Now, Amirul normally plays at the back. Raihan was in midfield. I just wonder where he's going to go. He's the furthest back at the moment for Tanjong Pagar. Are they just going to rejig things? Are they going to be playing three at the back and using the wing backs, the pace of Tanaka and Faritz, just to let them bomb forward a little bit more? Be interesting to see what happens shortly. That was important from Hyrule Shirhan. Suhairi. And perhaps for on their turn, we'll see Faris Fahan come on now, another attacker. Well, he replaces Iqbal. That's a like-for-like change. He's grafted, hasn't he, in that first half? Got the better of Jan Motta on a number of occasions. So they've opted not to keep an extra attacker on. No foul on Maguire. Suhairi. Well, this is about as many chances as we've seen from Tanjong Pagar. Far more positive. Yep, every right to go for that, perhaps. It would have been quite special had he scored it. So it does appear as if Amirul Emran has just filled in the hole where Raihan Rahman left, and that was in that defensive pivot. So they're still going to stay with four at the back for now. But I guess that does give them the option, doesn't it? He'll probably drop back a little bit when the fullbacks go forward, almost becoming a three. It does give them that option. Strong header there from Jan Motta. The momentum at the moment, by the way, is with Tanjong Pagar. Let's not make any mistake about that. Van Huysen just gone over to that right-hand side for a while. Here's Firdaus. They probably just want to get the game by the scruff of its neck again. as many chances as each other on target. That's positive as far as Tanjong Pagar are concerned, but you just see the intent now from this Tanjong Pagar side. Far, far better. Tanaka. Here's Delvinder. Nice touch on from Amy Reka. Remember, they still have Karol Nizam to come as well, Geylang, if they want. Harith, yeah, couldn't really wrap his leg around that. Says he was fouled by Faritz. Now they've got quite a wealth of attacking options. Tanjong Pagar, Lewis Jr., Surya Prakash, Zulkifli Hashim, Koda Nishikawa. Nishikawa just muscled off the ball there, Shoda Nishikawa, and then you could see the ball that Van Huysen was trying to play into the path of Amy Reka. It's done well here. Prakash, Surya Prakash. Good tenacity from Faritz, up to Surya Prakash. Quick cross in to Lewis Jr. Couldn't quite control the ball. Sharin clears. That's a far more balanced game now, isn't it? Amirul Emran, as I mentioned, just sitting in front of the back four, and he will give them that little bit more protection. And that was certainly one just to shore things up at the back, while allowing more of their players to get further forward, perhaps. It's also given perhaps a little bit more license to the likes of Nishikawa. Darren Tate looking for Faris Farhan, but now they're not looking as good, are they, in that final third? Geylang International, not so fluent now. Faris' ball intercepted by Firdaus. A little bit casual there from Harith. Lovely turn from Nishikawa. He's done well here, Nishikawa. And it just doesn't stay in for him. There's a feeling that perhaps there should have been a foul there on Nishikawa. Amirul. Now Suhairi. Tanaka. There's just a little bit of an edge to this game. I just feel it's a pivotal part of it now, pivotal moment, because Tanjong Pagar are on the front foot. There's no doubt right now. Maybe a little bit of frustration. No foul there. Yeah, it was in the end by Maguire. Kenji Rushdie will be delighted that he's actually had very little to do in this second half. That is a testament to how much better Tanjong Pagar have been. Suhairi's done well here. Out to Faritz. He was looking for that overlapping run from Surya. Umar. They're now just trying to chase down a little bit more, trying to press Tanjong Pagar. It's a good ball out to Faris, but Kenji's there. saw the danger. Amran Luzaz out to Umar. That was a little ambitious from Amy. What's interesting, it just seems for now that Barry Maguire has just dropped a little bit in midfield, not so much in that number 10 role, because yeah, they do seem to be losing that midfield battle for a little while, so he's now taking a far deeper role. Almost a 4-3-3, but he can flip between the lines. That's something Maguire does well. Very versatile player. Here we go, ball in from Harith, which goes out for a corner off Delvinda. Are they going to look to take this short? Another way to draw a few players out as well, of course. Well, no one's going to get at the end of that one. Game in the balance at the moment. That's what it feels like. And Geylang, they just need that cushion in the second goal, just the way things are going. Just wonder how long before we'll see Khairul Nizam come on. What a player to be able to bring on here. Amy Reka, he might be the one who sacrificed if he does come on, and he's done well with that challenge. Just stop the momentum of Nishikawa. Surya Prakash, he's looked positive. Just lost his footing and I think right now, Geylang might just want to slow things down. You can hear up, up from the Tanjong Pagar staff. They want to put that pressure on. Umar. Firdaus. That's pretty nicely played, isn't it? Faris, he's done well here. Faris has plenty of space on that right-hand side. Chris van Huysen. Oh, he just showed a bit too much of the ball. Faris, lovely touch on. He's toe-poked that in. That is a fantastic goal. And they've got the second that they needed. Faris Farhan makes it 2. Well, they were a bit exposed at the back there, Tanjong Pagar. We had just heard their staff say push up. And they got caught out there. But it was great skill from Faris Farhan as well. Chris van Huysen did some of the hard work as well, coming into the box. Couple of shimmies, a step over, bit of luck there perhaps, but a really important touch from Faris Farhan to take it past Delvinda. Lovely bit of work from him. He started the move as well, didn't he? A good touch up there. And look, he had to cover a lot of ground here. Such a good touch, that one. And then prods it in with his other foot. And now, real problems here for Tanjong Pagar with about 20 plus minutes to go. Well, you might say an inspired substitution by Muhammad Noali. That's such a good goal, worth watching again. This is sort of a reverse angle now. There's that touch. There's the all-important touch from Faris with his left foot. And toe pokes it in with his right. Excellent goal. And I tell you what, that came a little bit against the run of play. So it'll be relief as well as celebration for Geylang International. And that's a bit of a sucker punch for Tanjong Pagar, who've actually played really well in the second half as when you compare to what they were doing in the first. Still not over, of course. Well, they tried to take more risks, but they got caught out there. There was a lot of space for Chris van Huysen. Well, this is good news for Geylang. There's your goal scorer. Of course, they'll say they're not looking out at other scorelines at the moment. But this is going really well for them. Reminder, there are 4 games on today. Albrechts Negata are playing Ballister Khalsa. And Albrechts top of the table. They have got a goal, by the way. Kamata has scored in the 65th minute. Hyrule does well to grab that one. Young Lions are now 2-1 down. Jordan Webb has just scored. Lion City Sailors are 2-0 up against Geylang United. Hafiz Noor's got the second. So all this is going really well as far as Geylang are concerned. But they probably need a few more goals. Their goal difference isn't really good enough. They've only scored 9 this season coming into this match. And this is the kind of game where they need to work on that. So if it stays a draw with if Ballister can get something out of that game, a draw against Albrecht, so they are down at the moment, then they would stay above Geylang International. But as things stand, it would be Geylang in 4th. And I tell you what, it's getting nice and tight at the top. Lion City Sailors will be on 17. Both Albrechts Negata and Tampines on 20 each, as it stands. Because Albrechts are in the top 4 at the moment, it does mean that 4th place does give you a spot in Asia next season. Here's Jan Motta. Just knocked a little bit of the wind out of their sails, hasn't it? Tanjong Pagar. Oh, that didn't look good. Umar. It's just collided, I think, with Nishikawa. Might have been a boot to the chest. No, Umar, mate, did he overextend that? No, it looks more like cramp at the moment. But will they try to maybe take him off? Well, there is a theory going on down there that he's gone down because he's going to get a card. Trying to get a bit of sympathy. Hazrin putting that out there. Overall, double the number of shots, Geylang International. Well, Nishikawa's okay. That's the good news. Will Umar continue? Yes, he will. "15 minutes plus some added time here for Tanjong Pagar to try somehow to turn this around. They're really committing more and more players forward, and that could give Geylang opportunities. As I mentioned, it's goal difference. It could come down to that later on, and Surya Prakash, nice ball into him. It's got Faritz as well up there. They're pushing everyone up. Tanaka on the other side will do the same. Umar puts that out of play, and you can expect a siege perhaps in these last 15 minutes or so. They've got to give it a go, really, right? Tanjong Pagar, they have to. Luis Junior to Faritz. Suhairi. Sharon deals with that fairly easily. Now Tanaka. Not a great ball in from him. Ichikawa easily clears that one. Wonder at some point whether Jan Mota will be thrown up there and Amirul will just drop back. He's got an eye for goal, Jan Mota. Had a good chance earlier on for Tanjong Pagar. But that goal, that key goal from Faris, we did say there was felt like there was a pivotal moment in the game coming up here. Faritz, Luis Junior, and Surya Prakash is wide. He will take his time here, Hyrule, and perhaps not. Darren Tay now, and I mentioned earlier how Maguire has really dropped much deeper in the second half to shore up that midfield. It's a great ball in to Harith, who then proceeds to lose it. Amirul. Now Surya Prakash. Early cross from him. Someone's asking for a handball. That is a little bit desperate, I think. Ref is gesturing as if he doesn't really agree. Ichikawa. Now Suhairi. I don't think I've seen this many Tanjong Pagar players inside one half. But at least they are looking positive. Got to find these little signs for them. Never easy coming back into the top flight. You've been out for a few years and perhaps helped by the fact that Warriors are not here and they can try to get some of their players. Talk, of course, of Warriors coming back next year. And question marks, of course, as whether DPMM will continue in the SPL. Onside, everyone just paused there. Nishikawa tries to pull it back. Luis Julio, that's a great goal! Over the top of Hyrule Shirhan. He took that beautifully. And that is what they needed. Luis Junior, his second goal of the season in his first start since March. And that's what he can do. He's barely been involved in the second half, but, well, we may have quite the flourish now in the last 10 minutes. Great work, though, from Nishikawa. And he took that superbly, sat up well for him. And that is a superb finish. Yep, beautiful goal. Now, the response to that, and we did think Amy Reka would be the one to sacrifices. Khairul Nizam's come on, and that is a great goal from whichever angle you look at. But Khairul Nizam is on for Amy Reka now. Interesting that Maguire has just suddenly started pushing up again. Just wonder whether he might want to be a bit more conservative. It's going to be nervy, isn't it, now, for Geylang International. By the way, that is Tanjong Pagar, only their sixth goal of the season. Only Young Lions have scored less, with 4, though they did get 1 tonight. So it's 6 and 5 now for those two teams at the bottom. Tanaka. Well, it's still Faris sorry, excuse me, it's Khairul Nizam now who's effectively the number 9. The Faris will then just go out wide, I think, on this left-hand side. We'll see. Firdaus. Sharin goes up towards Khairul Nizam. They could do with one of his specials right now, just to ease the nerves. Here's Amirul. Now Suhairi. Oh, given away cheaply to Faris. Barry Maguire looks up. It's a good ball. Plenty of space on this left-hand side for Firdaus Kasman. Slips it in to Chris van Huysen. And Jan Motta comes across. This is what the problem's going to be for Tanjong Pagar as they pile players forward. Leave themselves a bit exposed at the back. Well, they're taking their time with this, as you can imagine. Did Maguire get a little touch on that? He's asking for the corner, and the referee agrees. Well, they want to keep the ball up this end, of course. This is working well for them. There's still a good 10 minutes or so, and then you see Farid just gesturing at his watch. No hurry to take this corner. Not really committing too many men around that 6-yard box either. They're quite happy to just have the ball up there. Here's Faris' corner. Suhairi got up. He's keen, isn't he? He's looking for a second tonight. Well, there are some Geylang fans around the stadium from various vantage points. A few chants going on. Umar gets to that ball ahead of Amirul. Nice little touch on there from Karan Nizam. Here is Maguire. Sharon clears. Now Khairul. Surya Prakash. Back with Geylang International. Look where Faris is as well. He's dropped back and got to be careful of things like this. Ichikawa. Upfield for the moment, just to relieve the pressure. Well, Faris has dropped back. Barry Maguire has dropped back. They're just flooding that midfield at the moment, Geylang. Don't want to take those chances. Take any chances, rather. And well, we're talking about looking to boost their goal difference. I think they'll be just happy right now for the final whistle to go. Grab those 3 points and put them into that all-important 4th place for the moment. Here's Zulkifli. He's been a little bit quiet. Had one good moment earlier on. Surya Prakash has seen certainly a lot more of the ball on the right-hand side. Maguire. Very congested in that area. Lovely bit of work from Karan Nizam. Excellent from him, and look at the space. He was trying to get that across to Van Huysen. Farage launches that. Forward again by Faris. That's a superb ball up to Van Huysen. He looks up, not too many options. He's shown a bit too much of it. And that is strength, shall we say, from Faris. Using all his experience there, Faris. Look how he's in a wide position at Luis Junior, not something we see too often. Forward by Amirul. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. I think he was looking for Luis Junior. That's a poor ball from him. Up towards Luis Junior. Sharon gets to clear that. Good work there by Suhairi. Now Nishikawa. Waiting for the cross from Farid. Here it comes. Darren Tay gets onto it. Zulkifli trying to make things difficult for Faris. Gets the foul. He's now playing in a much more defensive role. He's come right back here. Just wonder at one point, are they going to try and perhaps throw Mota further up and start playing more direct football? They're running out of time here. Tanjong Pagar. Good ball in to Van Huysen. And Jan Mota with an important interception there. Well, they're into the 90th minute. There are 4 added minutes here. Can they hold on? Geylang International. Harith, now Maguire. Are they aiming for that little corner? And he will gladly take that foul. Well, that is perfect as far as Geylang are concerned. And you can already hear the celebratory chants of the Geylang fans. Let's hope it's not too premature for them. Now, will they just try to play this into the corner or not? Well, he's just going to hold the ball as long as he can. He's not gone down. He's not allowing him to get the ball. Noor Ali is having a few words there with Jansen Fu. Oh, that is not a good clearance from Kenji. And that has fallen to Maguire. Surya Prakash goes in hard, but he got the ball. Nothing wrong with that. Maguire will try and milk this, shall we say. I think Noor Ali's not happy with that challenge on Maguire. You do sympathise with fourth officials. You really get an earful. They have the least bearing on this game, on any game. And again, Maguire is just going to do the same sort of thing. Harith doing well here. Harith, was there a foul? It's a goal kick. I'm not sure how much was in that. And of course, Harith will stay down. Harith will stay down for as long as he can. One too many shouts for a penalty. Noali still having a bit of a word with Jansen Fu. Well, they've got to get the ball up the other end. There will be probably more than 4 minutes now. And a couple of stoppages. Suhairi loses the ball. Umar up to Firdaus. Those two have patrolled very well, though, for a little while in the second half. Tanjong Pagar got the better of them. Faritz back to Kenji. That should get up to Luis Junior. Ichikawa gets there first. Amirul spreads it out wide to Tanaka. They've got 4 players in the box now. Tanaka has to get the cross in. Darante stops him. Now, I think someone said something. Trying to see who got that yellow card. There's a lot of players in front of him. Well, I guess it's pretty academic at this point. Well, we can tell you that it went to Harith. Just hearing in my ear. There you go, confirmation of that. Now Van Huysen. Oh, it's a good kind of ball, isn't it? And oh, he's pulled up. Oh, that's not good. That's really not good for Khairul Nizam. While it probably doesn't have an effect on this match as we enter the final seconds, I wonder what that means for Geylang going forward. For now, though, the ball is up the other end. They've got to focus on defending here, Geylang. But Khairul Nizam has not moved. Meanwhile, let's just quickly tell you. Actually, we'll just wait. Big throw in from Tanaka. Luis Junior has certainly not kept that in. Is optimistic at best from Surya Prakash. That clearly went out of play. Now, Khairul Nizam is on the ground. He pulled up, remember. And I'm afraid he's got a long history of injuries. They didn't want him to start despite having good form. It looks, was it groin or hamstring? And this is why, because he is unfortunately susceptible to injury. Let's just give you some scores right now as we're entering the final minutes of all the other games as well. Albrechts are 2-0 up against Ballistic Khalsa. It's still the same at Hougang Stadium with Lion City Sailors 2-0 up there. And Tampines Rovers have added another one. It's a hat-trick, by the way, for Jordan Webb. He got a late penalty. So this is really good as far as Geylang International are concerned. For now. There are still 5 more games to play. And with only 14 games this season, the margin for error is tiny. Well, the referee has decided to call time on this in what's been a very, very entertaining game. A good fight back from Tanjong Pagar United. Not enough, though. Geylang International win this by 2-1. But there are plenty of positives for Tanjong Pagar when they showed their attacking intent. Well, he should be a little happier. Mohamed Noor Ali, he's the winning coach, but he had a few frustrations on the sidelines in those final stages. And he's just having a bit of a go at the fourth official, Jansen Fu. But more importantly, let's look at the positives here. Geylang have got an all-important 3 points. And that puts them up to 4th, assuming the results stay the way they do. As I just mentioned, Tanjong Pagar, yeah, they will be massively disappointed that they weren't rewarded more. But the truth of the matter was, how many chances, how many good chances did they have? And did they create for themselves? But what it does show is when they are a little bit more positive, how much better they can be. Let's have a look then at the story of this game. And this was the early free kick from Amy Reka. Beautiful free kick. At that point, by the way, Gabriel Kwek had scored in the other game. Lovely free kick from Amy Reka. And then this was an opportunistic effort from Iqbal. But at this point, Geylang were completely dominating proceedings, and then they scored a deserved goal. Sharon Sabarin reacting fastest off the rebound from Barry Maguire's header. Celebrations all round, and it was certainly deserved. Nice finish there from the centre-back. Well, we thought they might push on from there, Geylang. This is the only opportunity, really, that Tanjong Pagar had. That was off a mistake from Ichikawa. Nice little layoff there from Luis Junior, but Nishikawa's shot wasn't really up to the mark, was it? Iqbal Hussain had his effort saved there by Kenji Rushdie, who rushed off his line. And that brought us to the end of the first half. Much more positive from Tanjong Pagar in the second, and that was off the woodwork. Zulkifli Hashim with that header. They brought on him and Surya Prakash. But this was the all-important second goal. Lovely work, really. First by Van Huysen and then Frahis Fahan. Credit to Tanjong Pagar, they kept plugging away and they got their goal. Luis Junior with a superb finish there. But it just wasn't enough. And Geylang hung on. And they'll be really happy with that. As you can see, Tanjong Pagar narrowed the gap in terms of chances. Both of them having the same number of shots on target. But Geylang, their quality shining through in the end. Perhaps a little bit closer than they would have wanted in the final 20. And that was Tanjong Pagar, really. A credit to them for turning up in the second half. But it's Geylang who claim the honours here and move into that 4th place. For now, they're in pole position for a place in the AFC Cup. But still, 5 more matches to play. Let's have a look at the final scores. And Lion City Sailors have indeed beaten Geylang United. And they got another goal there right at the end. And I think with all the other scores we're getting, Palliser Khalsa will also go a little bit, move down the table a little bit. Here's the next game, and I think this is an absolute crucial one now at our Tampines Hub on the 21st of November when Geylang take on Geylang, and it's all to play for, remember, for a spot in Asia next year. Palliser Khalsa will want to make amends for the loss today, and that's a game they'll be targeting against Young Lions. That's at Bishan Stadium on the 21st as well. So that brings an end to the proceedings here at our Tampines Hub. A fantastic game of football with Geylang International defeating Tanjong Pagar United by 2 goals to 1. Thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you again very soon.